Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the NFC East, and I know many of you have, you've probably noticed that the landscape is shifting in a way nobody expected just a few weeks ago. Washington Commanders, a team known for their gritty, resilient style, are now at the center of a story that could reshape their entire season, maybe even their future. It's a story that involves a potential game-changer on the defensive side of the ball, someone who could bring a spark that the Commanders desperately need right now. And believe me, this isn't just idle speculation. This is serious, real NFL-level movement. So let's back up a bit and take a look at where the Commanders are at right now. Their start to the 2025 season has been, honestly, a mixed bag. They've gone 2-1 in their first 3 games, which on paper looks decent. But if you're a true fan, you know better. You know that the real story is in the details, the injuries, the performances, the moments that define a team's grit. And right now, the Commanders are dealing with some pretty serious issues on offense. Their 2 best players, quarterback Jayden Daniels and wide receiver Terry McLaurin, have been battling injuries that threaten to slow down their offensive rhythm. When your quarterback and your top receiver are not at 100%, it's like trying to run a high-performance engine with half the pistons missing. That's why the focus is shifting towards bolstering the defense. It's always been the hallmark of this team, a team built around a tough, relentless defense that can turn the tide of any game. And in the NFL, especially for a team like Washington, having a strong defense can be the difference between a playoff run or an early exit. It's no secret that the NFC East has become a fierce battleground, with the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants all vying for supremacy. But if the Commanders can make a strategic move now, especially on defense, they could tip the scales in their favor and set themselves up for a deep postseason push. And here's where things get really interesting. There's a player that's been making waves in NFL circles lately, someone who could be a perfect fit for Washington right now. I'm talking about Gardner Johnson, the superstar safety who, believe it or not, was released by the Houston Texans just a few weeks ago. Yes, you heard it right, the Texans, after a surprising move, let go of one of their most talented and disruptive defenders. Now, why would a team release someone like Gardner Johnson? Well, the truth is, his time at the Texans has been a bit tumultuous. He's not exactly the kind of player who goes quietly into the night. His personality, his on-field style, and some past incidents have made him a controversial figure at times. Going back a bit, in 2024, Gardner Johnson was a key piece for the Philadelphia Eagles, helping them to their Super Bowl appearance with his ball-hawking skills. He had 6 interceptions that season, a number that speaks volumes about his instinct and playmaking ability. But his last game against Washington in Week 16 of 2024, well, that's a game fans, especially Commanders fans, won't forget. It was a high-stakes game at Northwest Stadium in Landover, Maryland. The Eagles were trying to clinch their playoff spot, and Gardner Johnson was heavily involved. But things took a turn when he was ejected in the 3rd quarter after his second unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. As he was leaving the field, he took off his gloves and in a moment of heated emotion, flashed the double middle fingers to the Washington fans. That moment, quite frankly, became a symbol of his fiery temperament and intense competitive spirit. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, that's not exactly the kind of guy you want in your locker room. Right. Well, yes and no. Gardner Johnson is a player with undeniable talent, and his past is filled with highlights. He led the NFL in interceptions in 2022 and played a crucial role in the Eagles' Super Bowl run. But his volatile nature has also caused some headaches. Over his 7 seasons in the league, he's been fined multiple times for taunting, fighting, and other unsportsmanlike conduct. It's part of his game, a double-edged sword that can either energize a defense or create chaos. Interestingly, despite his sometimes disruptive behavior, the Eagles re-signed him for a 3-year, $27 million deal before the 2024 season, clearly betting on his talent. But after one more year, they decided that the potential fallout wasn't worth it, and they traded him to the Texans. So why would the Commanders be interested now? Well, it's simple. They need a playmaker on defense, someone who can disrupt opposing offenses and bring that edge and intensity. And Gardner Johnson, despite his reputation, fits that mold perfectly. His ability to create turnovers and energize a defense is exactly what Washington needs at this moment. Plus, with the team's current injury struggles, adding someone with his experience and skill could be a game changer. Imagine a secondary led by a player with his instincts, someone who's not afraid to take risks and make the big play. It would send a message to the division. The Commanders are serious about competing now, not just talking about it. But of course, acquiring Gardner Johnson wouldn't come without some risks. His history of fines and incidents might raise eyebrows in the locker room and among the coaching staff. And the outside noise, fans and media, would certainly have opinions. But in the NFL, sometimes you have to accept a bit of controversy if it means getting the right player to push your team over the edge. For Washington, this could be the move that ignites their defense and sets up a potential playoff run. Now, imagine the impact if Gardner Johnson comes to Washington and quickly adapts to the team's culture. He's a guy who's learned from his past mistakes, and he's openly reflected on his fiery nature. He's said publicly that he needs to grow up and that his presence on the field is about having fun, but also about being responsible. If he channels that energy in the right way, he could become a leader on that defense, a player who sets the tone for the whole team. And with the current roster, including a talented but injured Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin, adding such a dynamic player could be exactly what they need to turn close games into wins. And let's not forget about the division itself. The NFC East has been unpredictable lately. The Eagles are still a powerhouse, but their team isn't invincible, and the Cowboys always have that potential to surprise everyone. The Giants, too, are lurking, trying to find their footing. For Washington, making a bold move now could be the difference in claiming a division title and setting themselves up for a deep playoff run. It's all about seizing opportunities when they come, and in the NFL, that often means taking some calculated risks. So, as we watch this story develop, keep in mind that the potential addition of C.J. Gardner Johnson to the Commanders isn't just a rumor, it's a strategic move that could redefine their season. The team's management and coaching staff are undoubtedly weighing the pros and cons, but the potential upside is huge. A player of his caliber, with his playmaking ability and experience in big-game moments, could be the missing piece that elevates this team from good to great. The NFC East is a battlefield, and every game counts. Washington has the talent, the coaching, and now, perhaps, the opportunity to make a bold statement. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And as we look ahead, the big question remains: will the Commanders pull the trigger and bring in Gardner Johnson? Will they gamble on his talent and fiery personality, knowing that it could either be a masterstroke or a potential headache? Only time will tell, but if they do make that move, you can bet it will be a game changer. This division is about to get even more interesting, and Washington's fans should be excited about the possibilities. With a few strategic additions and some resilience, they could be on the verge of something special: a playoff push, a division title, or even a shot at another Super Bowl run. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Gardner Johnson is the right fit for the team right now? Are you excited about the potential impact he could have? Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and everything you need to stay on top of the latest Washington Commanders news. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's see how this story unfolds. The NFC East is heating up, and the Commanders are right in the middle of it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep supporting your team and keep the faith alive.